Stylist gets on the stand. Deontay Nash.
And he said he spent pretty much every single day with Cassie. He said he saw Diddy and Cassie together. But then he said that Diddy would also refer to her as the B word. He would call her an SLUT.
Cassie Ventura, the untold story behind the spotlight. Cassie Ventura, known simply as Cassie, has long captivated the public with her silky vocals, striking beauty, and high-profile relationship with music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. But beyond the red carpets and chart-topping hits lies a story few have heard, until now. Recently, a former stylist who worked closely with both Cassie and Diddy came forward with revelations that could dramatically shift public perception. This insider, once embedded in the pair's inner circle during some of their most turbulent years, has exposed a hidden chapter of Cassie's life, one marked by secrecy, emotional turmoil, and silent suffering. According to the stylist, Cassie was engaged in a secret relationship with a powerful figure in the music industry, an affair kept completely under wraps from the public eye. But the real shock lies in the details surrounding her private struggles. The stylist describes a woman who, while maintaining a flawless public image, was quietly battling deep emotional distress. Behind the scenes, Cassie reportedly endured a pattern of abuse, evidence of which was subtly hidden under makeup and in sudden shifts in mood that often went unnoticed. Stylists are often silent observers of their clients' lives, privy to intimate moments that rarely make headlines. In this case, the revelations offer a painful glimpse into Cassie's hidden reality, one of heartbreak, secrecy, and quiet resilience. In an industry where silence is often rewarded and appearances are everything, Cassie's story stands as a reminder that even those who seem to have it all can be fighting battles we never see. Her strength in the face of adversity is a powerful testament to her endurance and a stark reminder of the heavy truths that can exist behind fame.
How much time Deontay spent with Cassie, and he said he spent pretty much every single day with Cassie. He said he saw Diddy and Cassie together, though, about once a week, but that's still a pretty often time. And then he was asked, what were the names that Diddy referred to Cassie as? So first, Deontay was like, oh, baby girl, Cassie. But then he said that Diddy would also refer to her as the B word. He would call her an SLUT. He would call her a... But he said it's the B word that was his favorite word to use in reference to his own girlfriend, that being Cassie. And he said, he being Deontay, said that Diddy would call Cassie an outright SLUT. And I'm sorry, guys, I know you guys, I have to be very careful with just the words that I can say on air. But Deontay explained that when Diddy would call her these names and when he would use these words against her, that Cassie would be sad. She would be depressed about this name calling. Deontay went on to explain that Diddy threatened Cassie a number of times, threatened to release her sex, send those sex parents, threatened to beat Cassie's behind, and it drove Cassie essentially crazy. She would cry, she would stay in the house. Deontay explained that Cassie would essentially cocoon up when Diddy would just call her these names, and Diddy threatened not to release her music, something that the government has talked about at length throughout a bunch of different witness testimonies.
Who was the former stylist to Cassie Ventura. He testified to acts of violence, often seen bruising on Cassie. He testified that at one point on a 2013 video shoot that Sean Combs also attacked him. A lot of violence, a lot of bruising, and a lot of blackmail. He said that he had threatened to release Cassie's videos, including to her parents, that he would get her parents fired. He would say things like, I'm going to beat you, I'm not going to release your music, I'm going to get your parents fired. And there were threats of blackmail, essentially, that speak not only to the underlying RICO charge, but also the elements of coercion for the enterprise's purpose of engaging in sex trafficking. You know, he confirmed that Combs helped Cassie's career and also his career. He confirmed that it's common for music labels to control the appearance of their talent. But then he went further to say that Cassie seemed to be the only bad boy talent whose appearance was controlled by Combs. Again, going to that element of coercion. I think this is a witness that the defense can argue is maybe biased, but he was overall a very strong witness for the prosecution.
For years, Cassie's relationship with Sean Diddy Combs was one of the most talked about romances in the entertainment industry. The couple was frequently spotted at high-profile events, giving the impression of a glamorous and enviable love story. But behind the scenes, those close to them knew that the reality was far more complicated. Among the insiders was Diddy's longtime stylist, someone who had a front-row seat to the dynamic between the two. Working closely with both Cassie and Diddy for several years, the stylist began noticing troubling signs early on. While Cassie maintained a radiant public image, there were moments when her appearance and demeanor hinted at deeper issues. The stylist recalls her arriving at shoots with subtle bruises, easily covered by makeup, and a noticeable shift from confidence to withdrawal within hours. These were not isolated incidents, but part of a concerning pattern. Around this same time, the stylist became aware of a private relationship Cassie was involved in, one that remained hidden from public view. This was not idle gossip, but a genuine, serious affair with another influential figure in the music industry. According to the stylist, this relationship offered Cassie comfort during her turbulent times with Diddy and had a significant impact on both her emotional health and career decisions. Though Cassie continued working professionally, her career began to lose momentum. Projects were postponed or quietly shelved, and her public appearances grew infrequent. The stylist believes the emotional toll of her private life, juggling a secret relationship while enduring alleged abuse, significantly affected her creativity and public presence. The stylist's account also sheds light on the abuse Cassie reportedly endured. They describe instances where she appeared deeply distressed, yet felt pressured to stay silent in order to protect her image and career. She avoided public confrontations and surrounded herself with a small, trusted circle of friends and professionals who offered support. Beyond physical harm, the stylist also points to emotional manipulation and control as factors that contributed to Cassie's isolation and fear of speaking out. This insider testimony underscores a troubling reality many in the spotlight face. In an industry that often prioritizes image over truth, victims of abuse can find themselves trapped, longing for freedom while fearing the consequences of being heard.
But it seems like, from Deontay's point of view, that Diddy threatened Cassie a number of times. Diddy even threatened Cassie and Deontay, that Cassie couldn't go out with Deontay and that she needed to bring her behind home, essentially, and that Cassie, again, would be referred to as the B word, and that Cassie would have to essentially do whatever Diddy said, whether it was how her appearance looked, whether her hair was down a certain way, whether it was up a certain way. And so I think as far as just the direct examination goes, yes, we did have a funny moment at the beginning of testimony, but really just getting into just kind of the weight of the testimony, it seems that Deontay is kind of, in essence, kind of giving more credibility to a lot of the other witness testimony, just about how mean and potentially forceful Diddy was against her. Well, I'm not gonna lie, Jesse, I absolutely love everything about Deontay Nash being on the witness stand. He's funny, he's sassy, and look, if I were to see an exhibit photo of myself and I looked in beautiful in this glamorous headshot, I would tell the entire courtroom too that I looked fabulous and stunning, and there was just this eruption of laughter inside the courtroom. And so Deontay Nash definitely at some points during his testimony, the personality is brought out, but he is there to talk about a lot of substance too. And that is just about his working relationship with Cassie Ventura, as well as even Diddy. He styled both of them. However, he did have kind of a better friendship and relationship with Cassie, and he witnessed a lot according to his testimony during his time while he had worked as a stylist with her. And so we're introduced to Deontay Nash around 12 o'clock-ish, right before the lunch break. He was the last witness who was called before we went to lunch. And so he was kind of explaining just how he had started working with Diddy and Cassie, he started off as an intern for Derrick Roche, and Derrick Roche was actually Diddy's stylist. And when Deontay is on the witness stand, Jesse, he's not even referring to him as Diddy or Sean Combs. He calls him Puff or Puffy. That is what he calls him by, and that's normally the name that he's familiar with. And so we do see that exhibit photo of Deontay Nash. It was a glamour shot of him, and of course, he said that he looked amazing and fabulous, and I'm sure the transcript read just that, but just being inside the courtroom, it definitely was kind of a good, funny, highlighted moment, and then it got more serious from there. So he was explaining that he had worked with Diddy and Cassie from 2008 to 2018, so about a 10-year period. Then we get into the 2009 to 2028 time frame, which is a long time, but Maureen Comey, who did the questioning under the direct examination, was essentially asking some foundational questions just about...
Despite the challenges she endured, Cassie's resilience never waned. In time, she began to pull away from toxic influences and gravitated toward healthier, more supportive circles. According to her former stylist, there were moments when her spirit visibly brightened, whether she was reconnecting with old friends or diving into new creative pursuits. These glimmers of hope revealed a woman quietly but determinedly reclaiming her life and rewriting her narrative, even amid profound adversity. This personal account emerges during a broader cultural reckoning within the entertainment industry, as more survivors of abuse find the strength to speak out. Cassie's story, as seen through the eyes of someone close to her, contributes a crucial perspective to this ongoing conversation. It highlights the urgent need for systemic change, greater accountability, and a reimagining of the environments in which artists are expected to thrive. Though Cassie herself has not publicly responded to these revelations, the stylist shares this experience in hopes of shedding light on the hidden struggles celebrities often face. It's a sobering reminder that fame and success are not shields against suffering, and that sometimes those who shine the brightest carry the heaviest emotional weight. As the public continues to follow Cassie's journey, this insider's testimony serves as both a cautionary tale and a tribute to her inner strength. It peels back the glittering veneer of fame to reveal a deeper, often painful truth. Behind the public image, the dynamics between Cassie and Diddy were far more complicated than they appeared. While their relationship was highly visible, the stylist describes a private reality marked by secrecy and emotional strain. The constant media attention and the pressure to project perfection placed a heavy burden on Cassie, shifting the relationship away from love and toward a pattern of control, a troubling yet familiar dynamic within the entertainment world. Adding another layer of complexity was a concealed relationship Cassie had with a powerful industry figure who operated mostly behind the scenes. Navigating this secret connection while maintaining a public persona centered around Diddy created emotional turmoil, a volatile mix of loyalty, fear, hope, and inner conflict. The toll it took on her mental and emotional well-being was considerable. The stylist also describes subtle but troubling signs of abuse, not necessarily physical, but deeply psychological. There were moments of manipulation, coercion, and emotional control, often masked by charm, wealth, and glamour. Beneath the polished exterior, Cassie was often hiding pain, concealing invisible wounds beneath layers of makeup and poise. Her sparkle would occasionally dim, a withdrawn gaze or anxious posture offering fleeting glimpses of the battles she fought in silence.
For some reason, Big had to be at that party because Puff is the one who, and you'll see in Kirk Burroughs' papers, that Puff is the one who scratched out Big trip from going to London, and then turned around and lied that Big didn't want to go to London, which was a bunch of crap. You understand what I'm saying? Because he asked Clark Kent to go to London with him. He asked Clark Kent to go to London with him. And Clark Kent was going to go to London with him, God bless the dead. You understand? Clark Kent told that story. Now, in this trial, Cassie was telling how D-Rock and Puff was trying to line Suge Knight up. Like I said, I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm just going to get into the fact that D-Rock has been with Puff since Big died. You understand? He went and did a little time, and when he was in jail, he was letting everybody know when he come home, Puff was gonna take care of him. And he became head of Puff security, making sure Puff was alright. Puff also gave him that clothing line, which was Bully. It was Big's ideal, but it was Invisible Bully. You understand? Gave him that clothing line. They was doing a little work, and he was doing the t-shirts and everything like that. And I guess Puff was actually, paying him back for helping him get Big to that party. I'm glad Ms. Wallace ain't here, brother, to see and hear what we're finding out about D-Rock now and the things that he did and how he was, so close to Puff and doing some of the things with Puff. And it's crazy right now. I'm glad Ms. Wallace is not here to hear that because she was somewhat fond of D-Rock.
More troubling were the persistent patterns of isolation. According to the stylist, Cassie was often cut off from friends and family, sometimes by circumstance, other times by deliberate control. This separation made it difficult for her to seek help or confide in others, reinforcing a cycle of silence. In Hollywood, where image is everything, Cassie faced an impossible choice: protect her career or speak the truth. It's a dilemma many celebrities quietly endure. Yet despite the obstacles, Cassie demonstrated remarkable resilience. The stylist observed a slow but steady transformation as Cassie began to resist the constraints placed upon her. Whether through small acts of independence or discreetly reaching out for support, she started the difficult process of reclaiming her voice and agency. This evolution was anything but easy. It required navigating emotional complexity and confronting powerful individuals invested in preserving the status quo. The stylist's revelations come at a pivotal time as the entertainment industry begins to reckon with its own culture of silence and complicity. Cassie's story is a stark reminder that even those who appear to have it all can be deeply vulnerable to abuse and exploitation. It also underscores the importance of allies, those willing to speak out and stand by survivors to help break the cycle of secrecy. Though Cassie has largely kept her privacy, the stylist's account offers a rare glimpse behind the curtain. It reveals that behind every polished headline lies a human.
That's an effed up subject and situation, man, to even imagine that you got somebody doing that to somebody that you supposed to care about and you supposed to be in a relationship with. You can't make this shit up, bro. This is made for Triple X TV. The stories that we're hearing about the things that Cassie has done, and we got these people out here believing that, she made this shit up. She ain't did this with nobody. I ain't seen not one of her ex-boyfriends. I ain't seen not one of the people that she dated in high school or none of that stuff come out and say that she was doing that way before she got to Diddy. So it is disturbing, bro. It's disturbing that he could brainwash her to the point whereas that she believing that she pleasing him and all his fetishes and everything by doing some that she's doing for him, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, she testified that Diddy, he a raw male escort.
Bro, what do you want me to say about that? That's some nasty, perverted you know what I'm saying? Bro, when you that high and you into that, to me, that's the demonic, bro. That's some old crazy otherworld shit. Excuse me for my language. That's some crazy otherworld stuff that people in their right mind don't even think of stuff like that, bro. People that's not in a whole sense of being perverted, that's triple X type of shit, man. That's stuff that normal people don't even think of, man. How high do you get that you want another man juices rubbed on you?
What stands out most in Cassie's story is her resilience. Despite the control, fear, and numerous obstacles she faced, she found the strength to fight back, reclaiming her voice and seeking support in an industry that hasn't always protected its stars. Her journey reflects a larger shift in the entertainment world, a movement where survivors are breaking their silence, demanding accountability, and inspiring real change. This movement calls for compassion, understanding, and a collective commitment to dismantle the systems that allow abuse to persist. Cassie's story also highlights the critical role of allies, insiders like the stylist who chose to speak up rather than stay silent. Their bravery is essential in raising awareness and fostering a culture that values safety and respect over image and secrecy. As Cassie continues to rebuild and redefine her narrative, her experience is a powerful reminder that fame and fortune don't guarantee safety or happiness. Behind the glamour, many endure personal battles hidden from the public eye. This expose pushes us to look past headlines and celebrity gossip, and instead recognize the real human stories that deserve empathy and justice. Ultimately, Cassie's story is about more than one woman's fight. It represents a broader struggle for dignity, respect, and truth in an industry that too often chooses silence over safety. It's a call to action for fans, professionals, and the industry itself to listen, support, and advocate for those whose voices have long been ignored. Let this story remind us that behind every spotlight is a person, capable of incredible strength and deserving of genuine care. What's your take on Cassie's story? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more powerful stories and insider perspectives.